on Monday, which is when the heavy pollution was happening during the day and in the evening, it was affecting a lot of the western sea-facing part of Gibraltar, but also we were receiving reports from the upper town. So I think, volatile organic compounds, hydrocarbons, things associated with diesel pollution and that, excuse me, tends to fly high and swirl around. So, but it was the intensity of it, the overwhelming nature of it, which I happened to be walking along here with family, and I couldn't believe what I was smelling. We've got so many different sources of fuel-related activity locally that we really want the authorities, the agency and the ministers to investigate what was going on Monday throughout our own potential sources to rule these out. It was northwesterly. Northwesterlies can bring pollution from the refinery area towards Gibraltar, but we cannot ignore the fact that, as we can see today, there is so much fuel-related activity that something unusual was happening on Monday, and we've got to get to the bottom of that.
The stillness of the atmosphere, if you will, whether it's a westerly or an easterly, or a day like today where it's very, very calm, does that play into it? Like, did the smell or the source of the smell linger?
Well, I think when there's heavy, strong winds in the air, of course, it disperses pollution and it disperses smoke, it disperses gases a lot quicker. If you don't have that help, if you like, then it just hangs around. Because it was northwesterly, it's the rarer time when we see, potential pollution reaching us from Spain. There was a lot of stain in the air, as if there was a lot of pollution above the plant. But equally, when we were walking here, there was a lot happening. There was a lot of ship movements, a lot of barge movements. So did something happen? Whether tanks being cleaned or whether big tanks, we now have the big tanks in the North Mole that have been erected recently new, and where they've been filled, for example. So we want to try and see if the authorities can help address what was going on and ensure that, if it was a locally sourced problem, that it won't happen in the same way again. People were calling and sending messages about feeling ill over this smell, irritated throats, migraine headaches, serious problems that should not be underestimated or undervalued or whatever. And I don't think the authorities would do that, but we would urge the public also to use the numbers that hopefully we'll provide at the end of this interview, so that people can call the agency and email the environment people as it's happening, so that it lends more gravitas to the whole situation, and the authorities who are responsible, if you like, for public health and safety can start looking into things immediately. So we try to raise awareness by this on the Tuesday, it's all kind of we can do is raise awareness about it. But if people contact us, we think it's important that the message gets out and that answers are provided.